So, I actually recently watched Dope.
And
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought
it's
it was
a really good movie.
You know what I thought it was? It's Pulp Fiction. It's a more comedic Pulp Fiction that's told in chronological order, but with high school kids. And in LA.
I suppose I could see that.
Well,
where does I think Pulp Fiction takes place mostly in LA.
Somewhere in California.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because they talk about Inglewood.
Right, yeah.
Which is LA.
Where do you boys live? Redondo. Inglewood. I see your future. A cab ride. But, no, yeah, I thought it was pretty good. It's fun, and what really reminded me of Pulp Fiction is how everything ties together. Like, everything in that movie is somehow tied together.
Like, you'd see random people, and then they all of a sudden they come back later, and like they're important to other people.
Yep.
It's just...
But anyways, here we are with not another top 10 show with myself, Scott, the Icebox, Neeminator Neemy, and I just want to say, what chain of events could possibly lead us to put top 10 film scores on hiatus? Well, I'm here with Damon, Big DZ Gumbert, who is pimping the airwaves.
Woo!
Damon, is it safe to say that you're the reason we have a unique topic for the listeners today?
I suppose that could be said. Yes.
Well, we are set to bring you none other top 10 shows, best film vehicles. I'm pretty stoked about this. And, woo! Listen to that torque.
That's a fast car.
Now, I mean, just a reminder to those listening, the topic that we create each week is open for interpretation from each of the participants. So that being, maybe I kind of, sort of, possibly put Aladdin's magic carpet on the top 10 vehicles. Well, you'll have to wait to find out. But we have to explain the real reason why we're here, and that is because Damon and myself, especially Damon as of late, have had our issues with vehicles in the past. Personally, I'm on my fourth car. Damon, being in a little bit more dire situation, has had his car take a crap on him during, I don't know if you'd call it the beginning or the middle of the second semester.
It hasn't fully gotten to the middle because we're not even to spring break yet, so it's kind of towards the beginning. But...
Okay, so we're kind of teetering on that edge of middle. So
yeah, I'm hoping it would last me through the semester, and then I could just be like done with it. But
yeah,
it didn't.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, he also commutes. So
yes,
yeah, that's not a very good situation. So personally, I made a list of cars that I would love to own and show off, and some that are just flat out cool. So, Damon, take you through how we're going to do this new format, which Trace and myself did last week. We both created a top 10 list. However, we're only going to go through 5 through 1, and together we will create one giant top 10 list between our top 5s. Now, say I have Aladdin's carpet at 5, and you have Aladdin's carpet at 2. I would remove Aladdin's carpet and replace it with my number 6. So, you know, I don't know what car I could use.
Yeah, I definitely don't have Aladdin's carpet on mine, so I think you should be fine.
But if it's only for the situations where we have similar vehicles. So, wait. I got to do a little footnote from last week's episode.
Okay.
And we did, I think it was top 10 best directors without an Oscar.
Yeah.
And not only did Trace and myself totally forget about Orson Welles, we ended up putting him in, but we forgot about him. But we also forgot about Sidney Lumet. So, Sidney, wherever your ghost is out there, I'm sorry. I'm trying. I forgot about you. And for those of you who don't know, Dog Day Afternoon, he did 12 Angry Men, he did Network, he did so many other great films, especially during the 70s. So if you have not, go back and listen to our last episode with the top 10 best directors without an Oscar, and also check out some Sidney Lumet movies. He's pretty good. Which leads me into my number 5 vehicle.
Okay.
I said pretty, and it's kind of like chitty bang bang.
Okay.
So.
It was a stretch.
Yeah. Hey, I'm trying. So yeah, number 5 on my list of top vehicles in film is chitty bang bang. When you look at that style of car, you know, Chitty's story is that it's an old racing car beat up, and these two kids find it, and the inventor dad, Dick Van Dyke, remakes it. And I don't know what he does to it, but like, it can float, it can become a boat, it can fly, it can do all sorts of crazy stuff. The only downfall with the car is that it's a convertible, so I don't think living in Wisconsin I would have that. So with that, my number 5 being Chitty Bang Bang, I'll move into my number 4. Also, we'll do 2 apiece and then we'll switch. So okay. I'll do 5-4, you do 5-4.
Okay.
My number 4 car is going to be James Bond's Aston Martin. I think the last time we saw that, I don't know, I haven't seen Spectre, so I'm going to say the last time we saw it was Skyfall.
I think so.
And it had those sweet guns.
It might have made a slight return in Spectre, if I remember correctly, but not like to the extent that it was in Skyfall or Quantum.
Well, this car is the definition of smooth, man. That even the color, it being kind of like that storm gray-ish type thing, I'd rock the hell out of it, and it has guns. So, I don't know what else other gadgets. I think they go into the Aston Martin a little bit more in the other movies, the older ones, where it has like oil slick and all that stuff like that. But yeah.
Yeah, the Pierce Brosnan ones, they relied heavily on the car.
Yeah. So, but the Aston Martin to me is pretty freaking awesome. All right, what's your 5?
My number 5 is the war rig from Mad Max Fury Road.
Okay.
I'm an aggressive driver. I like people to get out of my way, so what's better than a giant truck that could pretty much mow anything over?
What you mean? Is that the one though with which one is that? The one
war
that
rig?
the
it's
one
the one that Charlize Theron drives.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I don't remember which it was.
Yeah, no, there's some other cool cars in that movie, but I think the war rig. I mean, it lasted literally from beginning to end, barely taking much damage, and they got it all the way back.
And good thing gas prices are low, or else probably.
We'll see.
But maybe you can make some appearances and make that money back.
That's true.
What's your 4?
My number 4 is the car from the movie Drive.
All right.
And, Ryan Gosling rocks the entire movie. I don't know the car offhand, but I remember it looking pretty awesome. I know it's a muscle car, so
yeah,
something awesome. And he just makes it look cooler because he's Ryan Gosling. He just does that.
It's got to be something like I mean, it's got to be in the realm of like Camaro, Mustang,
yeah, one of those
something like that.
Stereotypical muscle cars.
Well, when you first said the car that he drives, I was like, what, that Chevy in the beginning? No,
the getaway cars.
But that movie is so great in itself. Personally, I mean, not to go on a tangent, we are talking about cars, but since we're talking about the movie anyways, we might as well go into it. The way that they edit together, you know, when the internal edits of how he's so calm inside the car and outside the car, then you have all sorts of, you know, this ambient noise and everything else going on, all the chaos going around, you know, outside of the vehicle, and the way they play with the camera, you know, when he's on the left side of the frame, but then they come back inside the car and, you know, he's on the right and all that good stuff. I haven't watched the movie in a while, but it's definitely one of my favorites.
Oh yeah.
All right, so that was your 4?
That was my 4.
All right. Well, I'm going to go with my number 3. I'm going to go Milner's Deuce Coupe from American Graffiti. Mm-hmm. That thing is hot. I tend to lean towards American Graffiti being a little bit overrated. I don't think it's the greatest film ever, and I don't necessarily think George Lucas is a great director either. No. But I think that car and what happens with the plot around that car, it actually makes the movie a whole lot better. So if you haven't seen, have you seen American Graffiti?
I have not.
Okay, well, Milner's this guy who's like this street race champ. You have to remember this thing is like we're talking like drive-ins and stuff like that. So it's an old school car. It doesn't even have a hood. It's just the the engine is just sitting out there, and it's got the inside where you actually have you can sit and everything, but you can tell that we're really car enthusiasts. but it's a pretty sweet. It's this yellow. But what happens during the film is that it's kind of how it used to work back then, where they would just kind of cruise around and that would be their Saturday night or whatnot. But this Milner guy, he goes driving around, I don't know, cruising for chicks or something like that, and he ends up with this snotty little girl in his car, who ends up driving all over with him, and just annoying the hell out of him too. But I really enjoy their dialogue together, and the scene where I think it's Harrison Ford, I think, is the guy, the bad guy who it comes to find Milner to try to race him and beat him and everything. So there's a couple good scenes with them. I think she said something like, "Your car is uglier than I am," or something like that. But yeah, no, it's a really good. I don't know. To me, that it just makes the movie a little bit more enjoyable. The other stuff going around it is kind of you don't really. It's not very memorable, but especially the race at the end when he finally races Harrison Ford's car, and I'll let you watch to see what happens. Is he going to be undefeated still, or is he not? All right, so that was 3. Yeah. So my number 2 is going to be Tim Burton's Batmobile.
Oh, interesting.
Do you have that?
I don't.
Wow,
but I was considering putting the Batmobile from the Christopher Nolan movie.
Oh yeah, see, that one lacks character to me.
It does.
It's just a friggin' tank.
It is honestly a tank. I was also thinking about putting the tank from Fury on mine.
Oh, all right, yeah. But no, the Batmobile, the 80s Batmobile, to me that thing is just pure swagger. All black. I believe it has the does it have the logo? I don't know. I'm trying to remember back to a toy car that I had. It had the logo on the front. Maybe it doesn't. I just think
the one from the 60s I think had the logo from the front, but the Tim Burton one was just pure black.
Pure black, yeah. But that thing was awesome.
It was a dope car.
And but I will give a kind of like an honorable mention shout out to the crappier Batman movies that had like the blue glow. So it had like the body of the car, and then they had like almost like this blue glow coming from like the rims and the side of the car.
Yeah, they had like lights underneath it.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. That was a pretty. It was a pretty badass car. But yeah, no, Burton's. To me, that was always in the back of my mind what the Batmobile was and is just that blacked out. They got those sweet. Like those Batwing, spoilers in the back, and that awesome opening for Bruce Wayne to get in. And I don't know if that does. When did they fly the Batwing? It's not in the it's not in the Burton ones.
No, it would have been either in
Batman and Robin.
Yeah, I want to say it was Batman. I think all the bad things happen in Batman and Robin.
Yeah. Well. What can you do, man? So yeah, I think that one for me is pretty freaking high on my list.
Yeah.
To you.
All right, so my number 3, and it's more because of the movie rather than the car, is the Taxi from Taxi Driver.
Oh, okay. All right.
I mean, such a great movie. Plus, that taxi has a lot of character. I mean, he drives it around. He meets all these people in it. He loses his goddamn mind in it. Plus, it's Robert De Niro. Like, I could sit anywhere that Robert De Niro sat. I'd be happy.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Well, it also has that sweet scene with Scorsese in the back telling him about how he's gonna kill his wife or whatever, or girlfriend or what. He's Goonie looking in that.
Yeah.
Well, when he actually has like facial hair and Whatever.
I can't even picture that.
Yeah. So I think that was what, your 3?
That was my 3.
No, I think the Taxi. It's more iconic than.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would like drive it on an everyday kind of basis because it's just
it's pure memorabilia.
It's an old ass car, but I mean, just have the car from Taxi Driver would be awesome. All right, so my number 2 is Dominic Toretto's car from the Fast and Furious series.
Is that the?
I can't even remember what. Like I can picture the car.
It's like the Charger or something.
Yeah.
That black one.
That super black one. He always does the wheelies in.
Oh yeah. Doesn't he get? Is that the one from the first one where he gets drilled? Okay.
He gets drilled in it, but then he like somehow brings it back to life when he comes back in the.
Of course. Well,
one. And,
shit. I'm sure it can fly in the next one.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, he does at some point in Fast 7 like drive from a building to another building through like plate glass windows.
Yeah, it is beyond me how everybody eats up that kind of stupid action, like what that franchise has become. But they like
it's brainless fun. Like you don't have to think about it. You just watch it and like. This is totally bullshit.
Right, but I mean,
I love watching.
But you could say the same thing about like a Steven Seagal movie, watching him just beat ass, and the plot is so ridiculous. But still, I mean, but because it's Steven Seagal and not Dominic Toretto or Vin Diesel,
the higher budget probably helps.
Yeah,
Other
but
than Steven Seagal literally just going around punching people, which I feel like is just his life now.
Yeah, well, he was a cop or something. They made a show about him.
He probably did a lot of punching people when he was a cop.
All right, so before we do our number 1s, let's go and name some of our honorable mentions.
Right.
So, the one that was just outside of my top 5, my number 6, Brian O'Connor's 1995 Mitsubishi Eclipse. From the Fast and the Furious, the original one. You remember that green one?
Yep.
This car became my dream car during the 2001 illegal street racing drama. For me, the pairing of the green and blue makes the car just awesome to look at. And I don't even like the color green that much either.
Yeah.
And that thing is sweet. And then, you got those sweet wheels and graphics. I don't even know what the MI on the roof of the car means, but it was fun to look at. I would love to sit comfortably behind the wheel of, that NOS infused street racer.
Yeah.
And although the Green Machine met an untimely demise, I still was hooked from the first time she revved her engine at me. What was your 6?
My 6 was Clint Eastwood's car in Gran Torino.
It was one of my honorable mentions outside of my top 10. Yeah. It's a sweet car. Again, with the green.
It's a dope car. I mean, and the movie kind of focuses around that car to an extent, so that's made it more important. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's a very meaningful part of that film. But yeah, I mean, dude, I would ride the hell out of that thing.
I mean, I don't know how to stick shift, but I'm sure I would learn for that car. And
oh yeah.
I'm sure other ones on my list.
My number 7. I like how we're going through this right now, which we probably have the same number 1. But we'll do this anyway. Sorry, we're ruining the tension. My number 7 is Christine.
Ooh, I thought about that one.
Yeah, from the 1958 Plymouth Fury. It's named so properly for that movie.
Yeah.
Dude, if you piss me off, I don't have to kill you. My car will.
It'll just do it for me.
Yeah, and then it can like crunch itself up and then make itself come back together again, dude. Like a homicidal car. That's sweet. The only downfall is that it can possess you and
or it can just
drive you crazy. But have you seen that movie, right?
Yes.
Yeah. When they're drinking the beers in there, have a beer. Don't be shy. My car, your car. And then they're gonna make a toast, and Artie's just like, to death.
God.
And I love when they're around the dinner table and what the parents are trying. The parents are like psychos. They're like really I don't know. They really are overbearing. Yeah. And Artie's just like, they're trying to tell like, hey, you can get it. We'll buy you a different car. You just got to get away from this Plymouth. And he's just like, that's what everybody wants, isn't it? Well, fuck you. Oh, it's pretty funny. But, yeah, that's my 7, Christine. Oh, dude, and it's a gorgeous red color, too.
Yeah. My number 7 would be Andy Samberg's little. It's not a motorcycle. It was like a dirt bike from Hot Rod.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because I want a motorcycle, but at the same time, I don't want to die on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like a dirt bike would be, like, a happy medium. Like, it would be something, like, freeing, where you're just, like, driving, like, it's basically just a bicycle, but, like, faster. So, that would be nice. And,
Yeah.
you know, I feel like they're low maintenance, rather than Saturns that die after 3 years.
Yeah, well, Saturn's built to last, I tell you.
Oh, definitely.
Number 8 for me, Mr. Fry's Ferrari, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Man, that thing, I told you about the red on Christine. That car is freaking hot. I think Ferris Bueller is a really enjoyable film because of the main character and, you know, the fourth wall breaking.
Yeah.
But the script wouldn't be nearly as funny if it weren't for that Ferrari. The Ferrari, Cam, and, you know, Mr. Fry's love for the car, because it really plays off of the fact that he is, like, super protective of the car. And then you see the joyride scene and, you know, Ferris trying to talk Cam into taking it out. It falls through that garage at the end, right?
Yeah,
like
it goes out the back window. Because having a garage with the freaking gigantic wall window is such a good idea.
Yeah, I don't know who was the architect behind that.
That was a terrible idea. And it goes, like, off of, like, not like a cliff, but, like, a large fall.
Yeah, like, just into the woods, yeah. But, yeah, no, that's why I had it on there. That thing seemed fast. It's cool.
Yep.
And what else wouldn't you like about that? So, what's your 8?
Oh,
do you have an 8?
I do. Where the fuck is my 8? Alright, it's Eddie Murphy's car from Beverly Hills Cop.
Alright.
Not like a great car, but I mean, it had character. And it got away from the cops when he was running away from his, you know, own people. Yep, there it is. You got
the triple feature.
Triple feature. I have that too.
Oh, look, another red car.
Yep.
Dude, I haven't watched these movies in a long time.
I rewatched the first one a couple months ago, and it's still funny.
I always thought, for some reason, I think the third one is when he goes to the amusement park.
Yeah.
The only reason why I like that is because I love Six Flags so much. It's like I was like tolerating the fact that it was just a terrible movie because of the fact he's running around basically Six Flags.
Yeah, Six Flags or like a Disney World and like getting shot at by like security guards.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That franchise just goes downhill after the first one. But
I mean, the second one's still pretty solid, but the third one is just like, it's several years later, and like, why did you do this? You didn't even bring back all the characters.
Here's the biggest question: would you rock that Detroit Lions jacket that he wears?
Oh God, yeah, dude, that was a dope looking jacket.
That thing is a banging jacket. Number 9. This was something that I was kind of thinking, do I put it on there because it's more of a TV show than a movie? I did that with a couple of them. Took off the Dukes of Hazzard. Starsky and Hutch, their Gran Torino, that red one.
Yeah.
I had kind of on the edge, which I will tell you, Starsky and Hutch is such an underrated movie. It's so funny.
With Stiller and Owen.
Yeah, because it's so over the top at times when like. One of my favorite scenes is when they're taking the pictures. They're like, they're following Vince Vaughn's character, and he like goes under the water in his own pool, and like they're taking pictures, and somehow then they're taking pictures of him under the water, which is impossible. But you just see Vince Vaughn's face right in front of the camera with his eyes open under the water, and it's just, oh man, it gets me every time. It's hilarious. And so I mean, Snoop Dogg's pretty funny in it too.
Yes.
But yeah, I couldn't do that Gran Torino. So, number 9, the Mystery Machine.
Nice.
Scooby-Doo. What's more iconic than the Mystery Machine? I'll tell you what. I owned a van once, and it was not the Mystery Machine. So I think updating to like psychedelic coloring and you know having a little bit more space to fit all your friends in the back, and who wouldn't want to drive that thing? You know, that thing is just sweet.
Yeah. There are people who will actually like paint their vehicles like the Mystery Machine, like their vans like the Mystery Machine.
Oh yeah, I've seen one. I've seen one around
I'm definitely
downtown.
jealous of those people. Like,
Yeah, it's a sweet. It's a sweet looking vehicle. But like I said, it kind of got its name more from the show, than the movies. The movies weren't all too great. But
I enjoyed the first one.
It was okay. I just thought making Scrappy the villain kind of was like sacrilege.
Yeah, but it was like almost like it was really comical that like they took like this character that was almost like forgotten, and made him the villain.
See, because as a kid, I loved Scrappy Doo.
Yeah,
I thought he was great. But whatever. What can you do? What's your 9?
My number 9 is the Ghostbusters car.
I took it off. I just did it right before you got here, and I was like, you know what? I like Ghostbusters, but I don't really care. I mean, the only cool thing about that car is that it has a Ghostbusters logo.
Yeah, the
on the
logo.
side.
The logo is really the only thing that makes it.
I mean, you can just make a decal, and I can slap it on any car, and I'll be like, yes, this is
true story.
This is cool.
I mean, it's basically just like I think in the new trailer it was a hearse, but like, which I guess it does look a lot like a hearse.
Yeah, I mean, it is something it is something. It looked kind of like, I just watched the scene the other day.
Yeah.
But it was in my top 10, only to drop completely out of it. But yeah, like Eleanor from Gone in 60 Seconds I had, that was like an honorable mention, or Bullett's Mustang from Bullet, Steve McQueen. So 10, the Mach 5 from Speed Racer.
Nice.
The movie was pretty much received as bad. However, the race scenes in this film are fun, attractive to look at, and dare I say it, exciting. I hated this film the first time I watched it. Absolutely despised it. And then for some reason I ran into it on one of those pay channels, an Encore or something like that, and it left me a little more mesmerized in the first viewing. I mean, the final race is some sort of spectacle that will leave you either overjoyed or lying on the floor with a seizure because of all the colors and things that are going on. It's actually a really kind of like get out of your seat and cheer moment in the movie, even though you know he's gonna win. But all of everything that he's been going through is running through his head when he's making this insane comeback. But the Mach 5 is so badass with its, it's got cool gadgets, pristine paint job, and who couldn't love the massive horsepower in the thing? So
true. I mean, he was going through like loops and shit.
Yeah.
Staying defying gravity. So I mean. Yeah.
It's kind of another one that comes from those like Hanna-Barbera TV shows that I watched on Cartoon Network, or Boomerang, the Boomerang Network. So what's your 10?
My 10, I had it in my head. You have it around here somewhere, and I totally forgot it. Jesus. Oh no, I was thinking about it. I'm just gonna. I know it's not really plausible, but it's iconic. So I'm gonna go with the Millennium Falcon.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I guess I really stuck to mainly cars. Yeah. But like I said,
this one I was just kind of like, it's one that needs to be mentioned because it does have that like.
Yeah, I mean,
when people saw it in the trailer for the new one.
Oh yeah.
Like, everyone was
and what
excited.
they did with it in the new one was how they reintroduced it was pretty funny. Yeah. So yeah, no, it's a great honorable mention.
I mean,
so.
it would be definitely like I wouldn't be able to find fuel for it, but I mean, I'd still rock that shit.
And you know what? One that didn't make my list, and actually I'd probably replace it with the Mystery Machine, but I forgot about it.
What?
The Shaggin' Wagon. The Mutt Cuts vehicle from Dumb and Dumber.
Nice.
They're driving an 85 Sheepdog.
Oh, man. Now I'm thinking of one that I was just like, I should have put this on there.
Yeah.
It was what was that fucking thing called? From Kill Bill.
Oh, the Pussy Wagon.
The Pussy Wagon.
I have it on here. I wrote it. It's number 2 on the ones that I wrote down.
Nice.
But I just you don't really see anything of it.
You don't. But just the fact that it's called the Pussy Wagon almost makes it worth it.
I don't know. Yeah. So I don't know. I think Tarantino's making a new script like Faster, Pussycat, Kill Kill or something like that. I wonder if it is going to make an appearance in that. I don't know what it's about, but
yeah, no.
Who knows? Number 1, you have The DeLorean?
I do have the DeLorean.
Hey, we agree on one. That's easy enough.
It's probably the most iconic car in the history of cinema.
Yeah.
More or less.
I mean, but how creative to take a random car like a DeLorean,
Yeah,
which
a car that
I've
almost no one
I've
knew.
never seen in my life. And not only that, but the way they, the way they give it some new gadgets or some upgrades as they go throughout the franchise is
Yep.
pretty cool. But, the 88 miles per hour and, the whatever gigawatts that they need and the plutonium that they need to run the thing. But, yeah, it's the flux capacitor.
Flux capacitor.
But, yeah, man.
That's just the fact you get to time travel with it. I mean,
True.
you do so much.
Yeah, I mean, even though it pretty much probably scarred Marty McFly with his mom's like getting up on him. So
I
weird.
think he got over it when he was making out with that chick later in the movie. So, and when he got back home.
Oh yeah. Elizabeth Shue.
Yeah,
Or did she come later?
She was in the second one. They
Yeah.
replaced the first, the
Yeah.
actress from the first one.
Yeah. Elizabeth Shue making her fame as like a sidekick.
Yeah.
And she's what's his name's girlfriend in Karate Kid. Daniel.
Yeah. I don't remember his.
I know his name.
You have it like right here.
It's the series right there. Daniel.
LaRusso?
Yeah.
LaRusso? Something like that.
Yeah, Daniel
Of course, it
LaRusso.
doesn't say. It just says an elderly martial arts expert teaches a high schooler to defend himself from bullies. Thanks.
That's a sweet
That
synopsis
is a
right there.
Stellar.
All right, now we have to make this list. So obviously we have the DeLorean at 1. What did you have at 2 again?
Oh shit.
Come on, man. Hey, I packed those things in tight.
For a second, so I can get my phone out. God, now I don't remember. I think it was Toretto's car.
Oh, Toretto. All right, I have
Yeah.
Batmobile. Give me the Batmobile over Toretto's
You
car.
can have the Batmobile.
Yes!
Toretto's car.
All right. You write this down, or else they'll hear the clicking if I type it on the keyboard.
All right.
So we got 1 DeLorean, 2 Batmobile, 3 Toretto's car.
Sure.
All right. 4 I have. So 3 on my list I have Milner's Deuce Coupe. What do you have at 3?
I had the taxi from Taxi Driver.
What do you want to do there?
I don't care.
All right, Deuce Coupe, and then the taxi because it's just memorabilia. What do you have at 4 on your list? I have the Aston Martin. I could have. I was gonna bet money that you would have had the one James Bond car on there.
I thought about it, and then I was just like, they're not like that important. And
Yeah.
I'm just gonna. I had the car from Drive.
Let's do the Drive car over
All right.
that. That's pretty.
What was shit.
Then do the
Oh,
Aston Martin.
All right, so we have Back to the Future, and then the Batmobile, the Dom Toretto's car.
No, Milner's Deuce Coupe. And then
No, it was the Fast and the Furious because that was my 2.
oh yeah,
And 3,
yeah.
and then it was Deuce Coupe, and then whatever I had, which I don't remember right now. For 3, the Taxi Driver car. Taxi Driver.
Did you put on the Aston Martin?
Not yet. I'm falling behind because.
You're a slow typer.
My numbering is
You type like you drive. Slow.
All
Just kidding.
right. 6 was
Well,
the Drive car,
okay, yeah, Drive car, and that
and 7 was the Aston Martin.
Aston Martin, and then I have Chitty Chitty Bang Bang at 5.
And I had the War Rig at 5.
I'll do War Rig over Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Are we missing one?
Well, we had the same one, so now we have to
Oh, we
decide.
have to decide on it.
So I have at 6. I have Brian O'Connor's '95 Mitsubishi Eclipse from the Fast and the Furious. What was your 6?
My 6 was the Gran Torino car.
Oh, what do you think?
Let's flip a coin. I have one.
All right, we're gonna flip a coin.
You
Heads I win,
yourself
tails
up.
you lose.
I guess I can deal with that.
No, you would
Just
lose. All right, I'll flip her. All right, so we have
So for 8.
a quarter from what year? A Michigan quarter from 2004. On the backside it says Great Lakes State,
What was your
Michigan, 1837. My 5
Yeah.
was Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. All right, Damon, you're the guest here, so you call it heads or tails.
I'm gonna go with heads.
All right, he's going heads. Now I'm gonna flip it, catch it, and then flip it again.
Obviously.
All right, here we go.
Or not catch it. That works too.
Well, I thought to myself, wouldn't it be cool if you could hear it happening? So it landed on heads. You get it.
All right.
So sorry to or Brian O'Connor or Spillner
out.
or whatever the hell your name is. You're out. And we got Gran Torino vehicle in. Here's your quarterback.
Thank you.
Buy yourself a pizza gum. All right, Damon, you want to do 10 through 6 or should I do 10 through 6?
Doesn't matter to me.
I'll do 10 through 6.
All right.
All right, so number
They're
10
not in order.
of the
Just find the number.
of the not other top 10 shows, top 10 best vehicles in film. We have number 10, the Gran Torino from Gran Torino.
Woo.
Number 9, we have Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Woo.
8, we have the War Rig from Mad Max Fury Road. Wow, Fury Road takes home another.
Yeah.
Another
award.
Yep. Number 7, where are you? The Aston Martin from the James Bond series. And number 6, we have the drive car, the cool one, not
Yeah.
the
cool
Chevy in the beginning.
The one he like does stunts with and shit.
Yeah.
Word. All right. And for number 5, we have the taxi from the Taxi Driver movie. Not to be confused with the taxi from Taxi, or the TV show, or the terrible Queen Latifah movie.
Dude, you just don't like Queen Latifah because A, she's black, and B, she's lesbian.
Has literally nothing to do with.
That was a joke anyway.
All right. Number 4 is the Deuce Coupe, which I probably spelled wrong, but that's fine.
Well, Deuce Coupe.
Yeah, I just spelled it D-U-C-E, and I'm now there's another E supposed to be in there. All right. Number 3 is the Dom Toretto's car from Fast and the Furious.
The one that gets hit by the train.
Yes, and then he brings back to life later.
And wait for it, he will fly in the
Yes.
next one.
He'll probably. Put
Oh,
balls on
dude,
that
I forgot
bitch.
about Greased Lightning. Shit, that thing flies in the end of the movie.
Yeah, it does. Start
Wow.
to fly.
Sorry,
They're
Grease.
going up a really, really, really steep hill.
Yeah, something like that. Just randomly there. All right.
All right, number 2 is the Batmobile from the Tim Burton movies.
Hell yes.
And number 1, the unanimous pick, was the DeLorean from Back to the Future.
Fight. Come on, fight. All right. So, thank you for joining us. That was not another top 10 shows, top 10 film vehicles. Like the video, comment, subscribe. I'm getting sick of saying this because none of you guys do it. So I'm just thinking maybe we should just give a reward out for the first person who comments on one of our videos, and it can't be anybody who.
Just a shout out in the next video.
Yeah. That's what you're gonna do. If you comment, the first person to comment, we're gonna give you a shout out. All right.
It's a very, very good reward.
Yeah, or maybe I can find one of my stupid codes, movie codes from around here, because I know I don't use them.
You
So
can get a nice voodoo digital copy.
right, and it'll probably be from like I'll give you Shrek.
There
No,
you go.
maybe something, I don't know, maybe something worse than that. Actually, on a side note about Shrek, I was listening to a basketball game, Austin P versus Belmont on Friday night. It was Friday night.
Yeah.
And the announcer, I think the play-by-play guy, mentioned Shrek in there because the guy who made the shot, he's like, oh yeah, this guy is like Shrek. He's got so many layers to his game. And I was like, thinking to myself, that is probably either the dumbest thing I've ever heard a sports commentator say or the absolute best.
Yeah.
But either way, props to whoever did that. I don't know who called the game. Because it was on like ESPNU or something.
Yeah, who really cares?
But anyways, that was pretty sweet. Like, comment, subscribe, share, like,
Twitter,
comment. Oh yeah, Twitter. It doesn't.
Something I don't really update it very much anymore.
Yeah, well,
whatever.
1 Minute Inspirations are hitting the airwaves starting this week. So look for the first 1 Minute Inspiration coming out this week along with this video. I think it's Frank Capra's first. And then after that, you can't wait to hear me go on a rant about guilty pleasure films. You'll have to listen to that, especially if you believe in guilty pleasure movies, because they don't exist. All right. So now that I've insulted everyone, we're gonna leave. I usually leave with some sort of witty quote at the end or something, if you want to call it witty. So I'll just say, drive fast.
Word.